Right. Okay. Good afternoon and good evening, Nangivali. Can you all hear me? Can someone kindly give me a, confirmation whether you all can hear me?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, welcome to yet another series that was organized by the Muslim Majlis of the University of Sri Jawaharlal. And I'm Ashfaq Sharifu, a second year MBBS student at Jawaharlal. And today we'll be discussing 2022 O-level and the 2021 O-level science, the MCQ paper, right? So once we finish discussing the MCQ paper, and if time permits, we'll go into the paper two also, right? So if you all have any questions at any time, you all can always drop them in the chat box. There's no problem. And if I by chance say something wrong, put that also in the chat box, and then we can see and discuss how things go. Okay, then. So since it's already 7-1, since most other kids also need to join, we'll start and the others will gradually join, right? So I hope that all of you all have the 2022 paper. We'll start with that. And still the 2022 official marking scheme and the official answers have still not been released by the examination department. Right, so these are the answers that I have prepared. There might as well be one or two changes, so just don't worry about that. And we will go into the 2022 paper first. Okay, then. Right. So this is the 2022 paper, and I hope that my screen is visible. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Then we'll start the discussion. So question number one. So yeah. So before we start the discussion, I will have to give you all some advice regarding the MCQs. If you want to score an A for science or a B for science, your MCQ marks will play the greatest role, because MCQ, if you mark a correct thing, you will get 1 mark. If it is wrong, you will get 0 mark. But in paper two, no matter how much you write, I mean, you're not always sure whether your answer will give you full marks, because it will depend on the person marking the paper. It will depend on the marking scheme. So if you want to have a sure shot on your marks, the MCQ is the best place. And if we are to talk about the MCQ marks, you know that there are 40 questions and a time period of 1 hour to answer. So if you score more than 32 out of 40, right, for the MCQ paper, if you can score more than 32 out of 40 for the MCQ paper and do your paper two also substantially well, then you can easily go for an A, right? So this does not mean that if you have 30, you will not get an A. But I'm talking about the normal, again, I'm talking about the normal average people. If they get 32 for MCQs and to some amount they have done the paper too, then you can go for an A. Because if you get 32 for MCQs and let's say you get an A of 75, you only need to get 43 out of 60 from paper two, which is a good 13, sorry, a good 17 marks you can lose in paper two. So because of that, your MCQ marks are really very important. And the key to getting more marks in your MCQs is doing a lot of MCQs, right? Because no matter how much of theory you know, at the end of the day, if you don't know to tackle the MCQ paper, it will be difficult, right? Normally, O-level MCQ papers are easy. Okay, it'll be surely easier than your exam papers, but it's like this. Each year the panel changes, so therefore you can't always predict whether your paper will be fully easy or fully tough. So you should be ready for everything when you go for your paper. And the people who are now in grade 11, that is the 2023 O level people. So for now, your exams have been scheduled in January. No, we don't know what will happen, but whatever it is, try to maximally cover your theory and then, try to start with papers. Then it will be easy. Okay, then we'll start with the first question. What is the organ that mainly performs nitrogenous excretion? So the important word here is nitrogenous excretion. So this is a direct question from your textbook. Nitrogenous excretion is done by the kidneys, right? Lungs will be a place of excretion of carbon dioxide. Skin will be a place of excretion for salts, water, and also some other substances like garlic. Okay. And your liver is not an excretory organ. Liver has some other functions in the body. Okay. The first answer is kidney. Next one, unit of pressure. So before you find out the unit, you need to know what is the equation for pressure. So pressure is force over area. Force over area. So force is in newtons, area is in m squared, right? Force is in newtons and area is in m squared. So your answer will be Nm. If you take this square to the numerator, this plus 2 will become minus 2. So Nm minus 2. So the answer will be the second one, right? Okay, if you all don't understand anything, you can either put it in the chat box or also, unmute and talk. So, okay. What is the type of biomolecules in which hydrogen and oxygen atoms are combined in the ratio of 2:1? So they are telling hydrogen is to oxygen ratio should be 2:1. So what is this thing? I mean, there should be hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 2:1. The answer is carbohydrates. Why? Because in carbohydrates, I mean, at your O-level levels, at your O-level standard, you just know that carbohydrates have CHO. And in this, hydrogen to oxygen ratio in carbohydrates will be 2:1. So therefore, the answer is carbohydrates. Then correct statement about atoms. If it is fast also, please let me know, right? The nucleus of all atoms of every element contains neutrons. Now this is false, no? Why? You know that, think of hydrogen, will you? If you think of hydrogen, the atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Okay. The mass number of hydrogen is also 1. You know, hydrogen has 3 isotopes, right? Protium, deuterium, and tritium. So this is protium, 1H1. So in 1H1, the number of neutrons is how much? 1 minus 1, that is 0. So the question says the nucleus of all atoms of every element contains neutrons. This is false. Why? 1H1 does not have any neutrons. Next, in every atom, the number of neutrons and the number of protons in the nucleus are equal. Correct. Because an atom is neutral. Okay. So, sorry. This is false. This is false. Huh? In every atom, the number of neutrons and the number of protons in the nucleus are equal. This is false. Because in an atom, always the number of protons are equal to the number of electrons, not the number of neutrons, right? In an atom, the number of protons are equal to the number of electrons. Okay, that is why this statement is wrong. Third one, the atomic number of 2 atoms of different elements can be equal. The atomic number of 2 atoms of different elements. Can you see the term different elements? So if the elements are different, naturally their atomic number is also different, because in the periodic table, the atoms are arranged in their atomic number, right? So each atom will have a different atomic number. At any cost, no 2 atoms will have the same atomic number. Okay, so therefore this is false. There may be atoms with different mass numbers in the same element. This is true. And what do we call them? We call them isotopes. Okay, for example, 1H1, 2H1, 3H1. So these are isotopes. That means their atomic number is the same, but the mass number is different. So if the mass number is different, their number of neutrons will be different. Okay, so therefore, fourth one, the answer is 4. Fifth one, of the following plant tissues, which is a complex and permanent tissue? Right. So whatever the tissues in the body, in the plant body, we can divide them into two. One is the simple ones and the complex ones. So if you look at parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, all three of them are simple tissues. Simple tissues. Complex tissues are xylem and phloem. So the answer for the fifth one will be the fourth answer. Fifth one, the answer will be the fourth answer. Sixth one, what is the particle that contributes to the flow of electric current through a metallic conductor? So the flow of current is also the flow of electrons because electrons are charged particles, negatively charged particles. So these electrons, when they move through a conductor, they can create current. So therefore, sixth question, the answer is electrons. Sixth question, the answer is electrons. Next question, in the above chemical equation, the metal indicated by M. Now look at this. Carefully look at this. Here, M reacts with zinc sulfate, ZnSO4 to give you MSO4 and Zn, which means M has displaced this one and send out zinc. Did you get it? M has displaced Zn2 plus in zinc sulfate to give you MSO4 and zinc. So this means this element M should be above zinc in the activity series. Okay. I'll tell again. Now look at this. I'll draw it on my blackboard. Then it will be easy for you. Right. Now, M reacts with ZnSO4 to give you MSO4 and Zn. This is the question now. So here, carefully have a look at this. M is displacing zinc sulfate and sending the zinc out. Okay. So methanadi by ZnSO4. So this M will break this bond, join with SO4 2 minus and send out Zn. For this, M should be above Zn in the activity series. Right? So M should be someone above Zn in the activity series. So now we will write down the activity series. Okay. So pink small cat met a colorful zebra in tea leaves. Highly crazy monkey sold gold. It will go like that, no? So now we have to look at zinc. This is zinc. So anyone above zinc can function as this metal M. Anyone above zinc can function as this metal M. So it can be potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium. So from the answers that they have given us, the best answer will be magnesium. Best answer will be magnesium. Next question. What type of reaction is this? This is a single displacement reaction.
Sir,
yes.
can you please repeat that song? Like this is
That song, there is a lot of song. Okay. I mean, when I was studying, we used this pink small cat met a colorful zebra in tea leaves. Then highly crazy monkey sold gold. So here, pink is potassium, small is sodium, cat is calcium, met is magnesium, A is aluminium, C is carbon. Now, although carbon is not a metal, we just include it in the activity series to show the comparison, right? So even if you leave out carbon, it's not a big issue. Then zebra is zinc in zebra in tea leaves. In is iron. Tea is in tea leaves. So here this is lead. Tea is tin, SN. Highly is mercury. Crazy is Cu. Sold is silver and gold. Okay. So this is how this will come. Monkey, some people take highly to be hydrogen also. So in that case, hydrogen and carbon does not come under metals, right? And monkey will be mercury Hg. I think this is the best way you can write it. Right? Okay. This is okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Right. So according to this question, this is a single displacement reaction. Okay. Right. We'll come to the next one. The kingdoms to which only heterotrophs belong. Now we know that all the what do you call, all the organisms on earth, we can basically divide them into two components, right? I mean, on the basics of their nutrition, right? On the basis of what they eat, right? On the basis of what they eat, we can divide them into two. One is autotrophs, and other one is heterotroph. Okay. Now, autotrophs are people who can make their own food, right? එයාලට තමන්ට අවශ්‍ය වෙන ප්‍රමාණය මේ ඕන ෆුඩ් ටික හදාගන්න පුළුවන්, right? So they are the autotrophs. Heterotrophs are the people who depend on someone else for their food. Okay. Now, autotroph, the best example is the plants. The plants are autotrophs. And apart from plants, there are also certain algae that comes under protist that can produce their own food. Okay. And autotrophs also we can divide into two as photoautotrophs, which means they use the light to make the their nutrition, and chemoautotrophs, which means they use chemicals. So I'll tell again, basically all the organisms on the basis of their nutrition, we can divide them into two, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs can be divided into two as photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Heterotrophs are people who depend on someone else for their food. Right. Now here, if you are given a question like this, it's better to cut down the wrong answer and then go for the correct answer. Okay. So plants are autotrophs, no? So third answer is wrong. This answer is also wrong. And also I told you, certain algae can be autotrophs. So algae, they come under kingdom Protista. So therefore the first answer is also wrong. So the answer will be the fourth one. Answer will be the fourth one. Which is the repeating unit of polythene. Right. So now we'll talk a bit about polythene. The monomer of polythene is ethene, which means C double bond C, H, 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 H. This is the monomer for polythene. I'm talking about polythene. Okay, we call this one ethene. When you all do chemistry for A levels, you will understand how these things come, right? Then many ethene molecules get together to form polyethene or polythene. So this is the repeating unit. See, this is the repeating unit. Okay. And many repeating units get together to form the polymer. That is like this. The polymer is like this. Right? CCH, H, H, H. And then you put a bracket and put N. So wherever you see this N, it is the polymer, right? Wherever you see this N, it is the polymer. So the question is asking us, what is the repeating unit? So the repeating unit is this one, the second one. Because this is the monomer, and this is the polymer. This is something else. This does not have anything to do with polythene. So the answer is the second one. Which of the following cannot be explained by total internal reflection? So what is total internal reflection? When a wave goes from a denser medium to a rarer medium, right? Instead of refracting at the rarer medium, it will undergo total internal reflection. It will undergo total internal reflection, right? You know that, sorry. Right. You know that in normal situation, let's say if a light ray falls onto a surface, this is the angle of incidence. You all have learned this, no? This is the normal, right? And then it will refract. This is the angle of refraction. Okay. But if this angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, there is a special angle known as the critical angle. Okay. If this I is greater than the critical angle, without being refracted at the surface, it will undergo reflection. So if this is I, this also will be I. So this is what you call total internal reflection. So they're asking what are the things that can't be explained by this total internal reflection. Right. First one, traveling of light through optical fibers. That is true because in optic fibers, we know that, wait, I'll draw you an optic fiber, then you all will understand. In an optic fiber, we know that when we send the light rays travel like this in the optic fiber, right? So every place one ray goes and, every place one ray goes and falls on, there will be total internal reflection. So therefore the first one is correct. But what's the question asking? Cannot be explained. Making diamond shiny by cutting and polishing. That is true. Even today I checked it from your textbook. This is directly there. So when you take a diamond, if you want to make the diamond sharp and shiny, because we know that shiny diamonds have a high value in the market, you can sell them for very high value, right? So therefore, in order to make the diamond shiny and more polished, we can use this total internal reflection. For now, you all don't need to know how it is made, because when you come for A-levels, you all will learn it. For now, just know when you're making diamond, there is total inversion of white light into colors. Right. So this cannot be explained. Why? Now I will take the third one and the fourth one together by 90-degree rectangular prism. Right. Now we'll take those two situations separately, will you? First one is the formation of a rainbow. Right. Formation of a rainbow. Right. So we know that there is a water droplet. So to a water droplet, what will happen is during the formation of a rainbow, one light will come and fall. A light ray will come and fall. Okay, this is the white light. Just like what happens in the prism, right? So this is the white light. Okay. And this white light will be separated into the 7 different colors. So here what happens is dispersion. We call this phenomena dispersion. I would really like if you all can, write down these notes, because the main reason why I chose to discuss MCQs with you all is when you do MCQs, a lot of theory will come to your head. It's not like doing the essays, right? So whatever the things you find new, it's better you write it, right? Take a paper and, when I used to do my, mainly during my A-levels and even O-levels, I used to take this one A4 sheet and divide into 4. Right? So 4 MCQs, whatever the new things I learned from the MCQs, I used to write in each of these boxes. So it's easier for you all, right? Okay, so this is known as dispersion. This formation of rainbow is known as dispersion. Another one is what will happen in a 90-degree prism. A 90-degree prism is this. This is a prism. Right. So in this 90-degree prism, when light falls on this surface, see, this is 90 degrees, right? So according to the law of refraction, we know that when a light falls perpendicular to the surface, there will be no refraction. So at this surface, we will not have the refraction. So it will come like this. But here, without being refracted, it will be totally internally reflected like this, because this incident angle is greater than the critical angle. You have to know that. Okay. So whenever light goes through a 90-degree prism, there is total internal reflection at this place. Okay. So therefore, the fourth one is correct. So the answer will be the third one. Which of the following is a change that occurs during the process of fertilization of a flower? Right. So, right after fertilization of the flower, there are many changes. The ovule will become the seed. Okay. The ovary will become the fruit. Then the wall of the ovary will become the pericarp. And the wall of the ovule will become the integument, or pericarp and testa. Okay, or the integument. Both are the same. And the sepals and the petals will get disappeared. So these are the changes that will occur inside a flower right after fertilization. Right, now we come to the question. Ovary turning into pericarp, it is wrong. Pericarp is formed by the wall of the ovary. Ovule turn into seed, that is correct. Sepals turn into seed coat, that is false. Sepals will disappear. Integument turning into pericarp is wrong. Pericarp is formed by the wall of the ovary. So the answer is the second. Next, not a characteristic of smooth muscles. So, smooth muscles are involuntary. Smooth muscles are uninucleated. They are spindle-shaped, but they don't have cross striations. You can see cross striations in skeletal muscle. Okay. So these are all theory points, Nangimali. So whatever it is, you all just have to study the theory here. Right. Which of the consider the following statement regarding mechanical waves. Frequency changes from entering one medium to another. It is wrong, because whatever the wave that comes into a medium, it will get refracted. Okay. So during refraction, frequency is constant. That is very important. Frequency is constant. Speed of the wave does not depend on frequency. Speed of the wave does not depend on the frequency. Now here there's a small problem. We will keep B as a question mark because V equal to F lambda. Okay. So here speed will depend on mainly the lambda wavelength. But what will happen to this F? There's a phenomena. We will read C and then come to B. If you find a difficult question like this in your paper, that is how you should do, right? Or you can even do like this. These are the shortcuts to do MCQs, right? Now, A is false, no? So this answer will not come. This answer will not come. Either there are two answers. So can you see in both the answers, B is common? So therefore, B is true. Okay, speed of the wave does not depend on frequency is true. There is a very complex theory behind it, which you all will be doing in your A-level physics. For now, just know that although V equal to F lambda, when F changes, sometimes V will not change because V mainly depends on the medium of travel. Okay. Now, for example, if it is traveling in water, it will have a velocity. If it is traveling in solid, it will have a velocity. If it is traveling in gas, it will have velocity. So this velocity does not depend on the frequency. Speed of the wave depends on the medium through which it travels. That is true, no? Whatever the medium it travels, on that basis, the speed will also change. So B and C, fourth answer. Certain element, it comes second in order of abundance in the Earth's crust. What is the second most abundant element? Aluminium. It is a semiconductor. True. It has metallic and non-metallic properties. True. because aluminium is a metalloid. So the answer will be aluminium. Group of students counted the number of elements in a unit area of the ecosystem. Those numbers are given below. What is the number of elements that belong to phylum Annelida? Right. Butterfly belongs to what phylum? Butterfly is an insect. So therefore it will come under Arthropoda. Spiders come under what phylum? Arthropoda. Snail comes under Mollusca. Earthworm comes under Annelida. Leech, Annelida. Centipede and millipede, both of them come under Arthropoda. Gecko is a vertebrate. Gecko is a reptile. No, sorry, gecko is an amphibian or reptile. I'm not pretty sure of that. Check, but whatever it is a vertebrate. So therefore it comes under phylum Chordata. So the question is asking how many annelids? 2 plus 1, 3. Of the following compounds, what is the compound in which the percentage of oxygen by mass is 50%? Right. So we'll write down these 4 compounds and do the calculation. Right. So you have NH4OH, calcium hydroxide, methane, magnesium carbon dioxide. Calcium hydroxide. This is methanol and magnesium carbonate. Right. So they are asking the percentage of oxygen. So,
Sir, you're lagging.
Percentage of oxygen is NH4OH. Nitrogen. Can you all hear me now? Can you all hear me now? Hello.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Nice. Okay. So here, if I'm to talk about the total mass of NH4OH, the total mass of NH4OH will be nitrogen is 14. If you can do these calculations in your mind, it will be easy for you, right? Okay. So here, nitrogen is 14 and hydrogen is 4, oxygen is 16, another hydrogen is 1, which means 35, right? 35. Oxygen is 16. So 16 over 35 into 100. Will that give you 50%? I mean, don't waste time in solving this. 16 over 35 is not 50%, no? So therefore, that's wrong. Here, calcium is 40. Here, 2 oxygen. So therefore, 16 into 2 is 36. 2 hydrogen is 2. So the total will be 42 and 36, which will be 78. 2 oxygen. So 16 into 2 is 32. So 32 divided by 78 is not going to give you 50%. So second answer is also wrong. Third answer, carbon is 12, 3 hydrogen is 3, oxygen is 16, hydrogen is 1. So if you do the total calculation, you will get 12 and 4 is 16, 16, 16, 32. And oxygen is 1, that is 16. So 16 over 32 into 100 is how much? 50%. So therefore, you don't need to do this. When you do your MCQ, you should be fast and you should save the time. So once you find the answer to be the third one, don't waste your time doing the fourth one. Those are the small tricks. You can score more marks. So the answer is this. What is the advantage of using a handle fixed to a door in occasions of opening and closing it? So you have a door and you have a handle. What is the what is the advantage? By using a small force, you can turn this big door. That is the advantage. Answer is the third one. If not, you have to push the door. Pushing the door is difficult. You use a small force and rotate the big door. This will come under the moment concept, right? Okay, next one. In the male reproductive system, sperms are produced in the testes. These are all direct ones. Prostate gland will secrete seminal fluid. Seminal vesicles will also secrete the seminal fluid. Penis is needed for intercourse. What is the statement that is true with respect to all the molecules? Please underline that term, all the molecules. All the molecules. The electron octet of the central atom of the molecules is complete. Carbon dioxide, ammonia, and water. We'll draw them, will you? This is carbon dioxide. Carbon, 2 oxygen. So carbon has 4 electrons. It will give the 4 electrons here. Oxygen can also give the 4 electrons like this. So oxygen has 6. 2 is already given to the bond. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is dot cross diagram for carbon dioxide. Ammonia, 3 hydrogen. Ammonia is in group 3. Sorry, it's in group 5, which means its valency is 3. So the 3 outer electrons, it will give here. Hydrogen will also give the electron. So ammonia has given 3. It has another 2. So it will have 2 lone pairs. This is ammonia. Then we come to water. Water is central oxygen, 2 hydrogen. Oxygen is in group 6. So it will have 6 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 hydrogens will be like this. So the question is, to all the molecules, careful, all the molecules. Electron octet of the central molecules, the electron octet of the central molecules is complete. Now look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Carbon dioxide complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ammonia also complete. Oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is also complete. Only single bonds occur. See, in carbon dioxide, there are double bonds here. This is 1 bond, this is 1 bond. So therefore, it's wrong. Lone pair of electrons are present on the central atom. Oxygen has lone pair, true. Nitrogen has lone pair, true. But here, carbon does not have a lone pair. So therefore, that's false. Molecules exist only at gases at room temperatures, false. Water is a liquid at room temperature. So therefore, the answer will be the first one. Next one, sea breeze and they're asking the correct statement. Sea breeze and land breeze occur due to convection, not conduction, right? Heat reaches the earth from the sun by radiation. True, because radiation does not need a medium for transport. When a metal spoon is put into a hot cup of tea, it is heated by convection. It is false, no? Why? Because if you put a metal spoon inside a hot jar of water, the metal is a good conductor of heat. So therefore, all the heat will directly conduct through the metal, which means there's conduction. So only B is the answer. Next one. A function of the hormone adrenaline. Adrenaline will help to prepare the body in emergencies. These are theory points, right? Adrenaline will help to if you are trying to do biology in your later life, you all will learn that adrenaline will help in fight or flight responses. Flight or fight. That means if a dog is running towards you, you have to do 2 things. One thing is you have to run away from the dog, or you should stop and fight with the dog. So those are the 2 responses the body will give you at that time. So whether you are going to stop and fight or whether you are going to flight, that means whether you are going to run away from the dog, depends on adrenaline. Okay. Controlling the rate of metabolic activities in the body, this is mainly done by all other hormones, thyroxine, growth hormones. So those hormones can also do that. Stimulating the growth of bones is done by growth hormone. Stimulating spermatogenesis in males. Spermatogenesis means the production of sperms. In males, it is done by testosterone. Right. What is the amount of moles of oxygen in 64 grams of oxygen? Right. So you know that number of moles is equal to the mass over molar mass, right? So mass is 64 grams. For O2, molar mass is how much? 16 into 2, that is 36 gram per mole, right? So 16 into 2 is 36. On top we have 64. So 64 divided by 36. Right. Wait, what is the amount of moles of oxygen in 64 grams of oxygen? Here, what is the amount of...
32 is the answer.
32. Right. 32, not 36. Sorry. Right. So here 64 divided by 32 will give you 2 moles. Okay.
1970.
Next one, in a transformer, the voltage supplied to the primary coil is 120. Voltage that is received from the secondary coil is 12. If the current flowing through the primary coil is 2, then what is the current flowing through the secondary coil? Right. So when you are doing transformer questions, there are only two equations. One is number of turns in the primary coil divided by the voltage of the primary coil is equal to the number of turns in the secondary coil divided by the voltage of the secondary coil. This is the first equation. Okay. Second equation is VPIP is equal to VSIS. Okay, these are the two equations. That means voltage of the primary coil into the current in the primary coil is equal to the voltage in the secondary coil into the voltage into the current in the secondary coil. Right. So here they have given us primary coil voltage is 120. Current in the primary coil, if the current flowing through the primary coil is 2, is equal to voltage in the secondary coil is 12. IS. Question is asking IS. So IS is equal to 120 into 2 divided by 12, which is 20 amperes. So these are easy questions, right? Following statement with regard to anaerobic respiration, lactic acid is produced in anaerobic respiration in animal cells. This is true. Anaerobic respiration in animal cells will provide lactic acid, which is accumulated in the muscles. Anaerobic means what? In the absence of oxygen. So when respiration takes place when there is no oxygen, it will produce lactic acid. If respiration takes place with oxygen, it will produce carbon dioxide and water. Amount of energy produced in anaerobic respiration is higher than that in aerobic respiration. This is false, right? Because the body will use anaerobic respiration only when there's no oxygen. So if there's oxygen, I mean, it's difficult for me to explain it using your O-level knowledge, but when you go later for A-levels and all, there are calculations, right? To show that aerobic respiration will produce more amount of ATP than anaerobic respiration. Part of energy produced during anaerobic respiration is stored as ATP. Part of energy that is produced during anaerobic respiration is stored as ATP. True. Because whatever the respiration...
Can you explain anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration?
All right, true. Here, what is respiration basically? Respiration means, now let's say we have glucose or food. Okay. So whatever the food that is there in the body, we are going to convert it to energy. Because let's say now, today night, you are eating a burger. That burger will not give you direct energy, right? That burger is broken down into something and that will give you the energy. So this is what you call respiration. Okay. So respiration, we can divide into two parts. One is aerobic and other one is anaerobic. Okay. So aerobic respiration means when there is oxygen. Respiration that will take place when there is oxygen. So the food is broken down to give energy when there is oxygen. So the final product will be carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide and water. Anaerobic respiration takes place when we don't have oxygen. So here the final product will be lactic acid, that is in the animals. In the animals, it will form lactic acid. And in bacteria, it will form ethanol, and yeast. It will give you ethanol, right? So this is respiration, anaerobic and aerobic. Out of these two, now both these type of respiration will finally give you energy. So you know that whatever the energy that is there in the body is stored in the form of ATP. That is the molecule. So, and you should know that the amount of ATP that comes from aerobic respiration is greater than that comes from anaerobic respiration. Was that clear?
Yeah, sir, thanks.
Okay. Next. Right. So here A and C are correct. Answer is the second one. Next one. Indicated here is the velocity time graph of motion of a certain object. What is the displacement? So when you are given a velocity time graph, how to calculate displacement? So displacement is area under the velocity time graph. So what is now they're asking after 20 seconds. So we need only this area, right? So if you look at this, this is a trapezium. So how to calculate the area of a trapezium? Half into addition of parallel sides. That is 20. And here 10. 10 to 20 is 10. This is 20. So half into addition of parallel sides, which is 20 plus 10, into the height. What is this height? 10. So this is 5. So this is 30. 30 into 5 will be 150 meters. Third one is the answer, right? Okay, next one. In chemical industries, catalysts are used to obtain a higher yield within a short period of time. True. Now, catalysts are chemical substances that will increase the rate of the reaction. So the reaction is taking place fast. So if the reaction is taking place fast, within a short period of time, we can get more products. So that is true. Catalysts increase as well as decrease the rate of reaction. This is wrong, no? Catalyst will only increase the rate of reaction. People who decrease the rate of reaction, we call them inhibitors. It is there in your textbook. I just read it. Inhibitors. Okay. So only A is true. A is true while B is false. Answer is the second. Next one. Which of the following phenomena agrees most with Newton's third law of motion? Right. So what is Newton's third law? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Right. So now the first one, a ball falling down from a higher level, bouncing after touching the ground. Now, when a ball touches the ground, now get a situation like this. I'll draw it, then you will understand. Now the ball is touching the ground. Okay. When it touches the ground, the ball gives a downward force on the ground. This is the weight of the ball. Right? So let's say the weight is 20 newtons. Weight is 20 newtons. Right? So equal to this 20 newtons, the ground will give an upward force on the ball. That is known as the reaction force. Right? So if you look at this weight and this reaction force, both are equal in magnitude, but they are opposite in their direction. Both are equal in magnitude, but they are opposite in their direction. So therefore, the first one can be explained using Newton's third law. Right. So the answer is the first one. So we'll discuss the rest also. Velocity of a fruit falling from a
Sir, you're lagging.
reaching maximum value when it comes
Sir,
closer to the ground. But gradually the velocity will increase. Why? That has nothing to do with Newton's third law. Yeah. Yeah, y'all can hear me now, right? Hello. Okay, nice. Right. So we'll come back to that question. So the second one is velocity of a fruit falling from a tree reaching the maximum value when it comes closer to the ground. Now you know that when a fruit falls down, initially it has zero velocity, right? Initially the velocity is zero. So as it comes down and down and down, the velocity gradually increases. Why is that? Because downwards there is an acceleration of 10 ms minus 2, which is the gravitational acceleration. So it's due to the gravitational acceleration only this velocity will gradually increase. Okay. Okay. Then, okay. Flinging of passengers forward when the brakes are suddenly applied on a running bus. So in a running bus, normally the person moves forward. Okay. With the bus, the person will move. So braking means opposite to motion. Opposite to motion. So if you suddenly give the person an opposite motion and a force that is opposite to the motion, right? Now imagine a person is standing. Initially he's moving in this direction with the bus, no problem. Now the bus person puts a brake, which means there is this opposite force that is acting on the bus. Now the bus, this force is acting on the bus, not on the man. Okay. So, but the body of the man will still believe the bus is moving forward. The body does not know that, okay, the bus has given a force in the opposite direction. That is why the man tries to fall forward. Okay, so that's false. That has nothing to do with Newton's third law. Changing of direction of a moving football by kicking it, it's false. I mean, if you can properly angle your football and if you can give the necessary force to the football, then the football will go. That has nothing to do with Newton's third law of motion. Okay, right. So answer is the first one. The need of which factor for photosynthesis is expected to be tested by this setup. So can you see there's KOH? KOH will absorb carbon dioxide. So therefore they are checking for carbon dioxide. What is the substance that is labeled as X? X is water. This is a standard practical. We put water for a control experiment because in the left bag, we have to provide all the conditions for photosynthesis. In the right bag, we have to remove the carbon dioxide. Then only we can see whether carbon dioxide is needed or not. So in the right bag, if we need to remove the carbon dioxide, then we have to put this KOH. Okay, so the answer is water. What is the mass of C6H12O6 required to prepare a 1 cubic decimeter of 0.1 mole per cubic decimeter glucose solution? Right. So now look at this. This is a bit of a tricky question for O-level students. Right. They're asking, you need to prepare 1 cubic decimeter of 0.1 mole per cubic decimeter of something called C6H12O6. Can someone tell me what is C6H12O6? If you all can
Glucose.
remember. Very good.
Glucose.
Very good. Glucose. Very good. Right. We know this equation. C equal to N over V. That is concentration is number of moles divided by volume. Concentration we know 0.1 mole per cubic decimeter. Number of moles we don't know. Volume 1 cubic decimeter. So n equal to 0.1 mole per cubic decimeter into 1 cubic decimeter. Cubic decimeter per cubic decimeter cancel. So 0.1 moles. But what is the question asking? Question is asking us, question is asking us what is the mass? That is very important. So simple n equal to simple m over capital M. Simple n is 0.1 mole. Simple m is the mass. Capital M for glucose. 12 into 6, which is the 6 carbon.
180.
180, very good. 180 gram per mole. For those who don't know how to calculate that, 12 into 6, 72. 12 hydrogen, that is 1, that is 12. Then 6 oxygen is 16 into 6, 6, 6 are 36, 3 remains, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here, if you add these two, 0, 1, 180. So here, this is 180 gram per mole. So M will be 180 into 0.1, that is 18 grams. M is 18 grams. So your answer for that will be 18 grams. Next one. Figure shows a horizontal force P applied on an object placed on a plate. Right. So they're asking, when you gradually increase the P from 0, what happens to F? Right. For this, there's a graph like this, if you all can remember. Did you all learn this graph? That this is friction. Or was it done in A levels? And this is the force. Did you all learn this graph? Can someone please let me know?
No.
No idea.
No.
Yes, sir.
Right. Some have learned and some have not. Okay, then I'll explain this graph. No problem. Now look at this. There is this object. You are giving an external force P. And then there is this. Just give me a minute. Right. Right. Okay. So there is this object. I'll draw it again here. There's this object. You are given this external force P. And opposite direction, there is F. Right. Now imagine you give a small force. Let's say 1 newtons. Object does not move. So what is F? Object does not move. You give P 1 newtons. Object does not move.
F is 1 Newton.
Very good. F is also 1 Newton. Object does not move. Right. Now you give 3 newtons. Still object does not move. Then F will be
3.
3. Very good. Now when you give 4, the object, I mean, එක යාන්තම් move වෙලා. ඒ කියන්නේ the object tends to move. Fulla move ආහල ඕරලව move ආහ try ආහද. So during that time, this F will be slightly lower. Let's say if it is 4, this will be around 3.9. Then after that, if we give 5, object moves. That means F is less than 5. When we give 5, object moves means F is less than 5. So after that point, this 3.9 will be the same. So therefore, this F will increase and then stay constant. Increase, stay constant. But before it comes to a constant value, it will show a bit of an increase there also, like this. It will increase, drop a bit, and then come constant. This dropping is the limiting frictional force. Know that theory, yeah? Limiting frictional force. So if I add a force to an object, gradually the what do you call, the friction will increase. Friction will show a small drop.
Static no,
And
sir.
then, sorry,
Static friction no.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is limiting. Before that, there is static. Before that, there is static. This drop is due to limiting frictional force. And after that, we have dynamic frictional force. So this is the theory behind it. So just know that it increases from 0 to a maximum value, then decreases slightly and takes a constant value, just like this graph. Arrangements ABC shown up by a student in the laboratory use 4 clean iron nails to study about the corrosion of the iron. Right. Corroded the least. Seawater has NaCl. That is, NaCl means salt. Salts will increase corrosion. So therefore, corroded least ekata, you can't take the salt. Vinegar is an acid. Acid will increase the rate of corrosion. Only bases will reduce the rate of corrosion, right? Know that. Then now look at C. Zinc and iron. Now can you tell me who will undergo the oxidation? Zinc and iron. Zinc and iron, who will undergo the oxidation?
Iron.
No, zinc.
Zinc,
Zinc.
no? Zinc. Why? We'll come back
Because
to
activity
this.
series.
Very good. Because of the activity series. Wait, I'll get the activity series. Right, now look at this. Zinc and iron. So who will undergo the oxidation? The stronger one, zinc. So therefore, iron will not undergo oxidation. Corrosion means iron undergoing oxidation. So therefore, the answer is C. If you look at copper and iron will undergo the oxidation. So iron undergoing oxidation means iron will corrode. So therefore, you can't take D. By connecting a conducting wire X and Y in the circuit that is shown in the figure, the bulb can be lighted. 3 instances, these wires made of the same metal. Please underline same metal connected between X and Y and the brightness. Brightness increases, right? Brightness increases means resistance reduce. That means if resistance is less, brightness will be high. That is understood, no? So now we have to find which is the resistance less one. We know that if a wire is long, resistance is more. Long, resistance more. If a wire is thick, can someone tell me what will happen to resistance?
Resistance will be less.
Sorry? என்ன நடக்கும் ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸுக்கு திக்கான வயர்ல?
Resistance will low.
Yeah, resistance will be low. So now the question is asking which one has the low resistance. So if someone should have the low resistance, what should happen? He should be short and thick. He should be short and thick. That will have the low resistance, which means greater brightness. So see the short and thick wire, B. So B will have the maximum brightness. Short and thick wire. So there's only one answer. Second one. This is how you have to do the MCQs, huh? I mean, other illama checking each ABC, you're just wasting your time. First, you understand high brightness, low resistance. So who will give you low resistance? Long wire, and sorry, not thick. It should be thin. I'm so sorry. So who will give you the least resistance? Short wire. Yeah, short wire and thick. I'm correct. Short wire and thick wire will give you the least resistance, which means the greater brightness, which means the answer is the B1. Okay, next one. In a water barometer, vertical height of the water column is 10 meters. What is the atmospheric pressure? P equal to H rho G. H 10, rho 1000, G 10. So this is how much? 1 into 10 to the power, how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 to the power 5. What is the chemical component that ionizes completely to release H plus? So if it is releasing H plus, it is an acid. If it is ionizing completely, it is a strong acid. So who's the strong acid here? HNO3.
HNO3.
Very good. HNO3. H2CO3 is a weak acid. H3PO4 is a weak acid. CH3COOH is a weak acid. So the answer will be HNO3. Food web that is seen in terrestrial ecosystem shown in the figure. What is the most correct one? Right. Now look here. R is a herbivore. R eats P. Okay. They are asking most correct. Huh? R is a herbivore. If P is a plant, R is a herbivore, correct. U is a carnivore. U is a carnivore. U is a carnivore if S is a animal and T is an animal. Okay. Okay. S is a omnivore. S is a omnivore. S will become an omnivore if Q is a plant and R is an animal. Can you see S can directly eat Q, or it can even eat R. So if Q is a plant and R is an animal, S can be an omnivore. V is an omnivore is false, no, because both R and U are animals. Meath animal. So therefore V can't be an omnivore. So therefore this is false. R is a herbivore. There's a small problem with that. What if P was animal? Now, they have given us only this much. Maybe before this also there were animals. We don't know. They have not given in the question. So can you always say that P is a plant? No. So that is why R is wrong and the answer is third one. Okay. Of the following, which option indicates the causes of action relevant to sustainable use of resources and use of renewable energy? So what are the renewable energies? You know, solar energy, wind energy. Coal is not a renewable energy. So therefore, second answer is wrong. Mineral oil is not a renewable energy. So therefore, fourth answer is wrong. Wind is renewable. Solar energy is renewable. So the answer should be 1 or 3. But also they are asking relevant to sustainable use of development. Converting marshlands to cultivatable lands. That is false, no? I mean, it's like this. Marshland, if you go and destroy a marshland and try to grow crops there, we are disturbing the biodiversity of that area. Okay, so that is not good. Always we have to promote biodiversity, allow the animals and the plants to be in their natural environment. Okay, so therefore 3 is wrong. Answer is the first one. Chemical species affecting the environmental crisis of ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer depletion is due to what? Greenhouse gases. Sorry? Yes, tell. Someone wanted to tell something. Okay, ozone layer depletion is due to CFC. So the answer should be either 1 or 2, not 3 and 4. This is how you have to do the MCQs. Huh? Then acid rain. Acid rain is due to acids. That can be either due to NO2 or SO2. Both can come. Eutrophication. Eutrophication means excessive growth of algae on water bodies. That is due to nitrates. So the answer is the second one. These all direct theory points are. Inversely proportional relationship. Inversely proportional means when someone increases, the other one should decrease. Concentration of greenhouse gases increase means temperature will increase. Why? Greenhouse effect. So therefore this is wrong. When the food mile increases, food mile means the distance between the producer and the consumer for food. When the food mile increases, carbon footprint will increase because we are doing more harm to the environment. So therefore that is not inverse proportion. Deforestation and desertification. When there's more deforestation, there will be more desertification. Deforestation means cutting the forest. Desertification means forming deserts. So if you cut more and more forest, more and more deserts will come up. So the answer is the fourth one. Emergence of invasive species will reduce the biodiversity. Biodiversity will depend on the natural people. So if you come and put someone from outside, the natural people are affected. Okay, so invasive species increase means biodiversity reduces. Okay, so this is the 2022 paper. Does anyone have any question in any of the questions here before we move on to
Excuse me,
2020? Yes.
sir. The answer for the 15th question is silicon, right?
Wait. Right. Sorry. Yes. Semiconductor property, silicon. Yes. Kids may change this. It comes second in order of abundance of earth crust. Sorry, it's not aluminium, it's silicon. Yes, you're correct. Silicon, and silicon has semiconductor properties and it has metallic and non-metallic properties. Correct. Silicon, not aluminium, because they have the semiconductor properties also. Okay, anything else?
So, excuse me.
Yes.
What is semiconductor properties?
Semiconductor properties means, I don't know whether you'll understand it, but semiconductor, there are these semiconductor chips, computer chips. So to make these computer chips, we use special metals that are semiconductors. So now we know that we have metals, right? Metals means they will give the electrons. Am I correct?
Yes.
They like to give the electrons. Then we have someone called non-metals, no? That means they like to take the electrons. But there are some group of people who like to take and give electrons, both. Let's say if someone has 4 electrons in the outermost shell, he has 2 options. One is he can give all 4 electrons and get 0, or he can accept 4 electrons and get 8. So these
Like
are the
carbon.
people. Very good. Like carbon, silicon, people who are in the group 4. So these people are known as semiconductors. And in that, we don't use carbon as semiconductor because of carbon's crystalline, not the crystalline structure, because of carbon's arrangement, we don't use carbon as semiconductors. The main semiconductors we use is silicon. Is that clear? Did you understand?
How about germanium?
Yeah, germanium also you can use, the one after silicon. Silicon and germanium, both of them are used in semiconductors. So did that, clear your doubt on what semiconductors are?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions before we move on to the next paper? Next paper, I'll be doing it more faster than this, because that's an easier paper than this. Right, shall we move on to the next paper, or do you all have any other questions? Shall we move on to the next paper?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, we will come to the next paper. Right. To which of the following organization level does heart belong to? Heart is an organ. These are easy ones. Hydrocarbons contained in LP gas. So LP gas means the normal gas you use in a kitchen. They have propane and butane. These are theory points. Amount of work. Right. Now work is what? Force into displacement. Force into displacement. Right. Force is what? F equal to ma, right? So instead of force into displacement, I'll write it on a different paper, then you will not get confused. Work is force into displacement. Force is mass into acceleration. Acceleration into displacement. That is work. So what did I do here? Instead of force, I put mass into acceleration. Mass is kilograms. Acceleration is ms minus 2. Displacement is m. So when you do the maths, kg, m and m will give you m squared s minus 2. Kg m squared s minus 2. Unit slowly. Right, kg m squared s minus 2. Fourth one. Which of the following is not a characteristics of cardiac muscles? Can you see 2022 they asked about smooth muscles. 21 they asked about cardiac muscles. So therefore, every year they are asking something regarding these muscles. So therefore, study these muscles properly, right? So cardiac muscles are uninucleated. They have intercalated disc. They are branched, right? So not a characteristic will be acting voluntarily. Cardiac muscles are involuntary. I mean, do you think your heart should beat? No, right? Right. A seed observed by a student during a field study, seed is dispersed by, this is wind. Why? Because it has these fan structures. So therefore it can nicely swirl in the wind. Which of the quantity increases uniformly in a body with constant acceleration? Constant acceleration means there is a constant increase in velocity. Acceleration is the increase in velocity. Which of the following is equal in this and this atoms? Right. In K plus, in this first atom, what is the number of electrons? 19. Number of protons? 90. Number of neutrons? 19 minus 40, that will be 21. In this one, protons 20, electrons 20, neutrons 40 minus 20 is 20. But their mass numbers are the same. That means addition of protons and neutrons are the same. So they have the same sum of the number of protons and neutrons. Which of the property of water causes water to be as a cooling agent to remove excessive heat in automobile engine? Specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity of water means specific heat capacity of the object. Yes. Hello. Yes.
Sir, what's the
Yes.
answer for this seventh one?
Seventh one. Fourth one.
Sir. Yeah,
Fourth one.
thank you, sir.
Okay. For the eighth one, high specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity is the amount of energy you need to give to 1 kilogram of a substance to increase its temperature by 1 degree. So in water, when we remove less amount of heat, temperature will drop by a very greater amount. That is due to specific heat capacity. Process of digestion of food, bile necessary for emulsification of fat is produced in the liver. These are direct theory. What is the essential element for production of thyroxine in thyroid gland is iodine. What is the mass of NaCl that is contained in 100 cubic centimeters of sodium chloride solution of concentration that much? C equal to N over V. C is 1. 1 mole per cubic decimeter means 1 cubic decimeter. Equal to N divided by volume is 100 cubic centimeter. Now can you see we have to do the unit conversion here? 1 cubic decimeter is 1000 cubic centimeter. That is important. 1 cubic decimeter is equal to 1000 cubic centimeter. So here 1 divided by, instead of 1 cubic decimeter, I can write 1000 cubic centimeter is equal to N divided by 100 cubic centimeter. So N will be 0.1. Then again, N equal to simple M over capital M. Simple M is M. Capital M for sodium chloride, 23 and 35.5 will give you 58.5. N is 0.1. So M will be 5.85 grams. Third one. Next one. What is RNS? This is the female reproductive system. R is the uterus. S is the vagina.
And veggie.
Very good. Uterus and vagina. First one. Ovum will fertilize with the sperm where? In the fallopian tube. Very good. Q. Image of a real object produced by a convex mirror. Right. You can remember this one easy. Convex mirror is equal to a concave lens.
Yes.
Right? Whatever the images that come from a convex mirror, it's equal to concave lens. And concave mirror is equal to a convex lens. Right? So the question is asking us, convex mirror means this one, just like a concave lens, which means the object that is formed is small, and it is real. Sorry, it's small and it's virtual, not real. Oh, no, it's real. Sorry, it's small and it's real. Concave lens, it is small and it's real. Right. So the answer is first, real and smaller than the object, which is the increasing order of pH. Now tell me, HCl is a strong acid. CH3COOH is a weak acid. NaOH is a strong base. NH3 is a weak base. So the one that is with the highest pH is what? Bases have high pH. So the one with a higher pH will be strong base, NaOH. So the first and third answer is wrong. Right? So out of these two,
So
yes,
the image of real object produced by convex mirror is virtual and smaller than the object, right?
virtual, wait, real object, right, correct. If the object is real, it's virtual. If the object is real, image is virtual. If the object is virtual, image is real. Correct. Thank you. So it will be virtual and smaller than the object. Right. Then if lowest pH should be there for the strong acid, HCl. So the answer is 2. So with that itself, you can see this is an acid and this is a base.
Yeah, increasing order of pH means
Increasing order means how it increases. So from the lowest pH to the highest pH. Okay. Good. What is the number of carbon dioxide molecule in 22 grams of carbon dioxide? So again, we do the calculation. N equal to simple M over capital M. Simple M is 22. Capital M for carbon dioxide, how much? Can someone tell me? Very good, 44. But this is the number of moles. So if you want to find the number of molecules, it is the number of moles, simple N, into the Avogadro's constant. So therefore, 22 divided by 44 into Avogadro's constant, 6.022, 10 to the power 23. So 22 divided by 44 into 6.022, 10 to the power 23, first answer. Chemical formula of chemical fertilizer urea is CONH2 twice. Right. Urea possesses the properties of constituent elements. False, no. I mean, now if this should be correct, urea should have the properties of oxygen. That means urea should be a gas. Is it true? No, right? So therefore, it's false. Okay. Next
So I don't
one.
understand.
If think like this, Silu. Urea possesses the properties of constituent elements. That means urea should have the properties of carbon. Urea should have the properties of oxygen. Urea should have the properties of hydrogen. Urea should have the properties of nitrogen. That is the meaning of that statement. Did you get the meaning first? Meaning like that? Okay. So now tell me, oxygen is a gas, but urea is a fertilizer, no, solid. So urea has properties of oxygen. Is that true or false?
False.
False. Did you understand? If I tell urea has the properties of oxygen, false. Oxygen is a gas, but urea is a solid. So therefore, this statement is false. A molecule of urea has 2 carbon atoms. False, no? Only 1 carbon atom. Molecule of urea has 4 hydrogen. Correct, no? 2, but in brackets.
Yes.
So 2 into 2, 4. Total number of molecules of atom in urea: 1 carbon, 1 oxygen, 2 nitrogen, and 4 hydrogen. So the total will be 6, 7, 8, not 7. So the answer is the third one. Which option contains only the components that are found in the glomerular filtrate but not in the urine? Right. Now, you know that in the kidney, right, blood comes, right, and it gets filtered into the Bowman's capsule. You all know the parts of the kidney, right? except for what and what? There are two things that don't get filtered. Can someone tell me?
Hormones and blood.
Blood and other one?
Hormones.
No, not hormones. Can someone else give a guess?
Plasma.
Plasma proteins. Not just plasma proteins, right? Basically the blood and the proteins. All other people are filtered. Then within the tubules, always glucose is reabsorbed, right? Because you know that formation of urine has 3 steps, no? Ultrafiltration, selective reabsorption, and secretion. All glucose are reabsorbed. Urea is secreted. So in our normal person's urine, you will have 0 glucose. Right? In a normal person's urine, 0 glucose. There will be urea. But there will be water also. That is why, you know, your urine has, I mean, it's liquid. Right. Now we'll come to the question. But not in the urine. Not in the urine. Glucose. Urea is there in the urine, no? So 3 is wrong. Water is there in the urine, no? So therefore that is also wrong. Water is there in the urine, no? So that is also wrong. So therefore the answer is the first one. This is how you had to do MCQs. When you do MCQs, you should be very intelligent. Just knowing the theory will not get you a good marks for your MCQs. You need to be very intelligent and cross out the difficult one. Now this is a difficult question. We don't know what happens to amino acids. So therefore you cut all the wrong ones and choose the correct one as the remaining one. Then only you can get a good mark. Jackfruit of mass 10 kilogram is falling freely from a height of 5 meters of a jack tree. What is the velocity acquired by a fruit when it touches the ground? We have a tree. Right. Some problem with this pen. Right. Then there's a jackfruit. Mass is 10 kilograms. Can someone tell me what is the height?
5.
5. Okay, thank you. Mass is 10 kilograms. And with this thing, the height is 5. Now they're asking us, what is this velocity? Right. Now, what is the initial velocity?
10.
No. Initial velocity, when it's
0.
just hanging, 0. Right. Now we'll write the equation. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity over time, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Now, what is right? Okay. Okay. Now we will consider. Now we will consider like this. Okay. The time taken for this part is. I know if I tell like that, you will get confused. Then we will draw the graph and see for this. If you put the equations here, you will get mixed up. We will draw the graph. We will draw the velocity time graph. Now look at this, Labai. Velocity time graph. Now tell me what is the initial velocity?
0.
0. So graph will start from 0. Does this object have acceleration or deceleration?
Acceleration.
Acceleration. Is that acceleration constant?
Yeah.
No.
Why no? It is the same acceleration, no? Gravitational acceleration. Did you understand? Acceleration is constant. Is that clear? Did you understand that acceleration is constant?
Sir, in this
Okay.
question, aren't they asking the frequency?
Aren't they asking the? Aren't they asking the? I didn't hear you, sorry. Aren't they asking the? Hello, aren't they asking the? Sorry, I did not get you. I'm very sorry. Right, okay. So acceleration is constant. So if the acceleration is constant, gradient of the graph is constant. Right? Okay. What is the gradient of this graph? What is the value? What is the gradient of a graph of VT graph?
Acceleration.
Acceleration. So what is the value of the gradient of this graph?
MS minus 2.
How much? 10, right? Is that clear? Okay. Now imagine after, very good. Very good, 10. Now imagine he will reach the ground after time t. So when he reaches the ground, the velocity is v. This is what the question is asking.
Yes.
Now tell me, what is the displacement of a graph? Sorry, what is the area of this graph? Displacement, right? So what is the displacement? What is the displacement of this object? 5 meters, no? Did you understand?
Minus the half into this.
Right, okay. Now we'll write the equation. Gradient of the graph is what? How do you find the gradient of this graph? This point and this point. V minus 0 divided by t minus 0. What is the gradient? 10 equal to V over t. This is the first equation. Area is displacement. Half into, what is the base? T. Height is V. So area is 5. 5 equal to TV divided by 2. TV equal to 10. This is the second equation. Did you understand? If I take the first equation and multiply it by the second equation, this is like maths. 10 into 10 is equal to V over T into T into V. T and T get cancelled. 10 into 10 equal to V squared. So V equal to square root of 100, which is 10. So the answer is 10 ms minus 1. When you all come to A levels, you all will learn direct the equations for this. Did you all understand this question? Bit difficult. Did you all understand? You take the gradient, you take the area, and then multiply the two equations. Did you all understand this?
So,
You didn't understand?
So
Shall I
are there
explain?
any other method to do this?
Sorry, aren't there any?
other methods.
Yeah, there's a direct equation. V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS. I didn't want to introduce this equation because you all are still in O levels. Old syllabus O level, they thought this. New syllabus, they have removed this. V means final velocity. U means initial velocity. A is acceleration. S means displacement. So V squared question is asking initial velocity 0, 0 squared plus 2 into acceleration 10. S is 5. So V squared is equal to 5 into 2, 10. 10 into 10, 100. So V equal to 10. This is the easier method to get it. But this equation, you all will learn it in your A levels. Here. If you get a question like this, leave this question and do the rest. And finally, come and do this question. Okay? Don't waste your time doing this question. Even if you get it wrong, you're only going to lose 1 mark. So therefore, if you get a difficult question like this, leave the question and move forward. Okay? Right. Now we'll go on to the next one. I have to finish this fast also. Regarding blood circulation, arteries always carry oxygenated blood. This answer is true. That's false. Pulmonary artery will carry deoxygenated blood. When circulated once through the body, it goes twice through the lungs. That is false. It goes twice through the heart. That is what we call double circulation. Left ventricle acts as a pump for systemic blood circulation. True. Systemic blood means blood that is flowing through the body. That means aorta. So who is connected to the aorta? Left ventricle. So therefore 3 is true. Fourth one, always veins circulate blood away from the heart. This is false. Pulmonary veins are towards the heart. Few ways of connecting resistors of equal magnitude are shown. Lowest resistance. If I take each of them has a resistance of X. For the first one, what is the equivalent resistance? Someone tell me.
Should add all of the resistance.
Yes. So how
4.
much will you get? 4x. Very good. For the fourth one, tell me, will you? What will be the total resistance? X by 4. Correct?
Yes.
For the second one, X, 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 X. So this middle part, what is the equivalent resistance?
X over 2.
X over 2. Very good. X over 2 plus X plus X. That means 2x plus X over 2. That will be 2.5x. Am I correct?
Yes.
Very good. So the first one is 4x, second one is 2.5x, fourth one x by 4 means 0.25x. Now come for this one. This is x by 3. This part is x by 3. This is x. X by 3 means roughly 0.3, no? So this is 1.3x. So they are asking lowest one is fourth one. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, yes. Tell me. Yes, tell me. Yes, someone wanted to ask a question. Right. A is skin, B is kidneys, and C is pancreas. May you all can hear me, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, okay. Out of that, that contributes to maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis means maintaining a constant internal environment, irrespective of what happens in the external environment. Maintenance of a constant internal environment, irrespective of what happens in the external environment. Normally, all the organs in the body will help to maintain homeostasis. So therefore, the answer is A, B, C. If you are not sure with this question, you can leave it out.
Sir,
Yes.
what's been my homeostasis?
Homeostasis means now normally, now let's say now you are in Sri Lanka. What is your body temperature?
37.
Normal, okay, let's say 37. I go and put you in the Antarctic. What is your body temperature?
High.
37. 37. So whether you are in Sri Lanka or Antarctica or London or America or wherever, your body temperature is 37. That is homeostasis. No matter what happens in the external environment, your internal environment is the same. Is it clear? Okay. So that answer is A, B, C. Next one. P and Q indicate how body temperatures of organisms vary with temperature of the environment. Like now in organism P, the body temperature is the same. So therefore, he's a warm-blooded animal. Q, body temperature changes with the environment. So therefore, he's a cold-blooded animal. So who are the cold-blooded animals you all know? Amphibians and reptiles. Birds and mammals are warm-blooded.
And the fishes?
Yeah,
Comes
fishes
to
are also
cold-blooded.
cold-blooded. Yes. So P should be warm blood. So therefore frog can't come now. So answer should be either.
Tortoise.
Very good. Fowl and tortoise. Because tortoise is a reptile. Huh? Okay. In which order brightness of the bulb decreases in circuits ABC? Now look at the first circuit. Current will flow like this. So the full current or the full voltage of the battery is given to the bulb. But in B, let's say the voltage is 6 volts. So the entire 6 volts is given to this bulb. But in B, 6 volts should be divided between these two. Maybe 3 and 2, 3 and 4, or maybe 3 and 3. So not entire 6 come to the bulb. Resistance also takes up. But in C, it is short circuited. Because current will always flow in a path that has the less resistance. So therefore, current will not flow in this direction. Current will flow like this. So therefore, this bulb will not light. So the lowest brightness is for C. Answer is this one. Highest is for A because it has the highest voltage. Is that clear? 24th one. 24, clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Then there's an element, several allotropic forms. Allotropic form means different physical structure for the same element. For example, sulfur. Sulfur has many allotropic forms. One allotropic form conducts electricity. So what's the answer? Carbon. Carbon has diamond and graphite as the allotropic forms. And out of that, graphite can conduct the electricity. So therefore, answer is carbon. Functions of the human brain. Reception of sensors, controlling the rate of the heartbeat, and balance. What is maintained by the cerebellum? Cerebellum will maintain the balance. So therefore, answer is B. Controlling the heartbeat, rate of respiration, all this is done by the medulla oblongata. Then perseverance of sensors, sensory information, thinking,
Cerebrum.
all that is done by the cerebrum. Very good. Very good. Rate of a reaction increases when temperature increases. True, ne? Rate of the reaction increases with temperature. True. Kinetic energy increases with temperature. That is also true. Because when temperature increases, the molecules will move faster. So therefore, both A and B are true. So your answer will be the first one. Which of the following cannot be explained using the Archimedes principle? What is Archimedes principle? When an object is partially or fully submerged in a fluid, then the weight of the fluid displaced is equal to the upthrust. So, cannot be explained. Right, which cannot be explained? The fourth one. Lifting a large mass of hydraulic jack by applying a small force. What is the law that is used here? Pascal's law, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good. Diagram shows a cross-section of a cylindrical concrete ring that is kept on a flight of steps indicated A, B, C, D. Okay, and the person is pulling by maybe pushing or pulling. What is the point at which the force can be applied on the cylinder suitable direction rolled up with the lowest force? Right. So, we need the lowest force. Very good. A or B. The reason is this. This is the point of contact. Now tell me, what is moment? What is moment? What is the equation for moment?
Mass into velocity.
P equal to mv.
That is momentum. Mass into velocity is momentum. Moment is force into displacement, isn't it? Force into the distance.
Yeah.
So, when he needs to push the ring, moment is the same. So, therefore, if we need to put less force, D should increase. Is that clear? Did you understand that equation? Moment same. So therefore, if we need less force, D should increase. Is that clear? Did you all understand that equation? Moment same I recommend that. force කුරය d කූඩනු එනට රෙන්ඩ වරු එන්න multiplication අපිට මොමෙන්ට් එක ඒ කියන්නේ සමාන වැලියු එකේ තියන්න ඕන නම් අපි කොච්චර f එක අඩු වුණොත් ඒකට සමානව d එක වැඩි වුණොත් විතරයි මොමෙන්ට් එක අපිට මේ පුළුවන්. So therefore, if we need to have less f, d should be great. So from here, this is one distance. This is one distance. This is one distance. This is one distance. So the one that has the greatest distance will be which one? A or B? Either A or B. They have given marks for both, but I would prefer the best answer to be A. Okay. When okay, is that clear? Is that question clear? Do I need to explain it again?
So once more.
Right. Now look at this video. Right. Now there is this thing. Right. And there's this ring here. Okay. So now this person. I'll get a proper ring for you. Right. So now there is a ring like this. Okay. And trying to, properly draw the ring. Sorry. Right. Something like this. No? So this is the point of rotation. From here only the ring will move up. So these are some points where you can put the force. So when something should move, there should be something called moment. Okay. That is force into distance. Did you understand that one? If we need to rotate something, then that object should have a moment, which is force into distance. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the question is asking, we have to give the less force, it seems. When something moving or rotating, for that object, moment is the same. குறிப்பிட்ட ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்கு அந்த மொமெண்ட் வந்து சேமாக தான் இருக்கும். යම් කිසි ඔබ්ජෙක්ට් එකක් එක පොයින්ට් එකේ ඉඳලා රොටේට් වෙන්න ඕන නම් අර ඔබ්ජෙක්ට් එකටම කියලා යුනික් මොමන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක ඒ ඔබ්ජෙක්ට් එකට අයිති ප්‍රමාණයක්. So therefore the moment is same. So the force reduces, distance should increase. Is that clear? Force reduces, distance should increase. Is that clear?
Yes.
So therefore, from this point, see which one has the greater distance. Is it this, or is it this, or is it this, or is it this? This will be the best answer. Is it clear? Take the perpendicular distance, right? This, which is this. Wait a second. Perpendicular distance means this, 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 and this. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So out of that, this one will have the highest value. Okay. Next one. When a thin iron wool is heated, it instantly burns. But through an iron nail is heated, it does not undergo considerable change. So same thing. Iron, if you make it a wool, it will burn fast, it seems. But if you make it into a nail, it will not burn fast. So what is the meaning of this? The rate of the reaction will depend on the physical nature of the reactants. Fourth one. In 2011, the number of elephants in Sri Lanka was 5879. What is the most biospherical organization? So they are talking about a group of species that lived in a particular year in Sri Lanka, in a particular place. So what is a group of species that lives in a particular place during a particular time period? Population. Next one, correct option regarding NPN transistor. Right. So, in a transistor, there's always a base. Okay. Then there is an emitter. and there's a collector, right? So, right. So therefore, this is a NPN transistor. Always count from the top, NPN. So therefore, the base will be P, collector will be N, and emitter will be N. Answer is the first one. So in this wave, they are asking what is the amplitude and the wavelength. Amplitude is this distance, the maximum distance. And wavelength is this distance, the distance between two crest or two troughs. That is the wavelength. So the amplitude here is 4, but wavelength, this is 5, means this is also 5. So 4 and 10. Answer is the second. Which of the following is false about electroplating of iron? Right. So we are going to electroplate iron. So therefore, to the cathode, iron will be connected. And to the anode, whatever the metal we need to electroplate will be this thing. And the solution will be a salt of this metal. So let's say salt of M. Salt of M. So aqueous solution of a compound of the metal that is electroplated should be the electrolyte. That is true. The electrolyte should be in high concentration. That is false. Always, if we need to have a smooth electrolytic process, the concentration should be less. You will learn the reason when you go to A levels, right? Iron should be the cathode, correct? Because we need that metal to be deposited on iron. So that metal should undergo the oxidation, not iron. Current use should be direct current, correct? No, because we need to use a battery, not alternating source. Yeah, so this is also correct. So they're asking the false one, which is the second one. Conical flask containing aqueous hydrochloric acid is kept in a sensitive balance. Pieces of limestone were added to it in excess. Which of the following graph indicates how the balance reading varies with time? Right. So you are having limestone. What is the chemical formula for limestone? Can someone remember?
Calcium carbonate, CaCO3.
Very good. CaCO3. To that we are adding HCl. So we will get calcium chloride and water and carbon dioxide. Right. So normally, if this two mass is 10 grams, the mass of all these three will also be 10 grams. That is a rule in chemistry. Always the mass of reactants is equal to the mass of the products. Okay. Right. So here, we know carbon dioxide is a gas. So therefore, it will escape into the environment. So what is remaining is calcium chloride and water. Can you tell me the mass of calcium chloride and water, should it be greater than 10 or less than 10? Or is it 10?
Less than 10.
Less than 10. Very good. Very good. Less. So therefore, by time, as time goes on, the mass should be less than the initial amount. So that is the fourth one. Number of turns in the primary coil and secondary coil of a transformer, NP and NS. Voltage difference is VP and VS. So what is the relationship? We told it in the previous paper also. VP over NP is equal to VS over NS. So VP over VS should be NP over NS first one. I mean, the same thing, if you take this here and this here, VP over VS is NP over NS. So therefore, answer is the first one. So 37 to 40 information is given in the following table regarding 4 houses. Okay, so we'll see. Energy obtaining method, which is the non-renewable one. Solar cells, renewable. National electric grid. Now, in Sri Lanka, national electric grid comes from both coal and wind. In, where's that place? I can't remember. In Puttalam, not Puttalam. Yeah. In Puttalam, there are these windmills. So what comes to your national electric grid, you can't correctly say whether it is wind or whether it is coal. It can be both or it can be from either one. Electricity generator is non-renewable. Electricity generator is non-renewable. Biogas unit is renewable. Biogas unit is renewable. So only non-renewable will be electricity generator. Which house uses the lighting device that largely contribute to pollute soil and water? Right. Soil and water when improperly disposed to the environment. Right. When you dump biogas lamp, there will be no problem to the environment. Why? Biogas is organic materials, no? So when you put it to the environment, organic and organic, it will get properly decomposed. So therefore, D is not an answer. So whatever the answers that have D, you cut them. This is how you have to do an MCQ, right? And C, in the remaining two answers, C is common. So we don't have to think of C also when you're getting the answer. Now we'll come to A and B. CFL bulb and filament bulb. Out of these two, which one will mainly pollute the soil? CFL bulb are the bulbs that come recently. Filament bulbs are the old ones.
Filaments.
Filament bulbs, very good. CFL bulbs are the bulbs that come very recently are these CFL bulbs. So when they produce these new technology, they properly see whether it pollutes and all that, and they give you the best product. That is why you can't take CFL bulb. Which is the house that is taken as the most practical solution for electricity and fuel. That means it should have good electric energy obtaining source, good lighting source, and good cooking equipment. So which is the best house? Sorry, we missed a question. Which house uses the cooking equipment that minimally contributes to pollute the air? Electric heater. That is the one that will give the minimum this thing, because kerosene, it's bad for our lungs. Firewood, it will create lots of carbon dioxide and soot. LP gas cooker is also bad. The best one is the electric cooker. So therefore that's B. So practical solutions to electricity and fuel crisis, the best one will be which house? Which house will give the best solution?
B.
Why do you say B?
B.
Why do you say B?
Electrical generator.
Why do you say C? Now, question is, we'll read the question again. What is the house that has taken the most practical solutions to electricity and fuel crisis? So in that house, electricity should be the best. Now just tell me, looking only at
House
electricity.
Biogas.
Biogas house, that is the answer. If we look at only electricity, which are the good houses? Tell me now. Only electricity ek balloon.
B.
No.
Then
A, B, or sometimes B.
what about
Because
C?
all these three are renewable. Did you understand? A, D, B. Did you understand this? Electricity. Right. For fuel, which one is the good one? Electric heater. B. And firewood. Kerosene is not good. So out of these, which are the common one? B and D. Now again come to B. B is National Electricity Grid. National Electricity Grid, we can't correctly tell whether it is always coming from renewable sources. It might also come from non-renewable sources. So therefore B is not a very good answer. The best answer is D. Most practical solution, no. So D. Did you all understand?
So solar.
Yes, sir.
Solar. But in that solar house, you are using LP gas. LP gas is not good. The question is asking both fuel and electricity. So you have to think of both, not only one. Did you understand?
So
Yeah.
38, what's the answer?
38. B and C.
No, right? It's A and C, right?
A. which one is bad to the environment? CFL bulb or filament bulbs? Wait, yes, 38. It is A and C. Yes. Someone said something. Right, now look at 38 again. Yes, it's not B and C, it's A and C. The reason is both. Now C is not a problem now here. Fluorescent lamps. However, fluorescent lamps will pollute the soil and water. Now the problem is between filament bulbs or CFL bulbs. Filament bulbs those days was made with glass. But today CFL bulbs are made mainly of plastic. So if you think in that way, plastic will pollute the soil more than glass. That is why they have taken A and C, not B and C, yeah? A and C. But even if you do B and C, it is not a completely wrong answer. But since they have expected for the best answer, I think it's best to go with A and C. Understood? Right. I think I've taken 1 minute extra. Did you all understand 2021 paper? Any question you need me to explain again?
So that unit of work.
Unit of work, right. Now look at this. What is work? What is the equation for work? Force into displacement. Displacement, right. What is the equation for force? Newton's second law. MA.
Mass acceleration.
Mass into acceleration. So instead of force, I just wrote mass into acceleration. The displacement will just come as displacement. What is the unit for mass? Kg. What is the unit for acceleration? ms minus 2. What is the unit for displacement? M. So kg. Here we have 2m. So it will be m squared. This is minus 2. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right, nice. Any other question? Maybe from the previous paper also? Right. All right, you all have put a lot of questions in the chat box, which I have missed. Okay, I'll answer all the questions in the chat box now. Wait. Corrosion is in this grade 11 part 2 book. There is this unit on electrochemistry. In that unit, it's there. Maybe, yeah. It is there in the last few pages, huh? And in that corrosion also, there are these experiments you can do to check what are the factors that are needed for corrosion. And there's this experiment where you put the iron nail into in that petri dish and get, so just have a look at those, huh? Ozone layer is in the final unit of grade 12, which is the biosphere unit. Which unit is related to question 39? Maybe you have got the answer, no? Right, okay. Then, aren't there any methods to, I think I gave you the other method, but that is an A-level method. Maybe according to your level, I think that is the only method you have. In case you get a question like that, leave that question and then go to the others. Then it will save your time. Third one, not clear. Was it clear now? Hikma. Third one of which question? Which paper, sorry. Was it already clear? Maybe this is going out. Okay, for 1 MCQ, you get 1 mark. So for 40 MCQs, you get 40 marks. Are you doing online paper classes? No, I'm not. No, I don't take classes. Can you teach us qualifications of elements and compounds? Yes, can. Maybe on another day, I can, you all have that group, right? So in that group, if you all can, suggest what topics you all need me to cover, maybe through the Majlis, I can schedule another class for you all and help you all out with that. Huh? And continue with this. If you all want, I can continue. I'll put my contact number in the chat so that if there is next class, in the sense, I mean, we can, you know, next class. Maybe in your Majlis group, wait, someone is there from Musharraf, are you there? Someone from the Majlis? Someone from the Majlis, are you all there? All right, okay. So whatever it is, I'll put my phone number in the chat. And also, you all can even put in your that group what are the topics you all want. And according to whether I'm free, I can help you all out. And whatever the questions you all have, I'm always happy to help you all. I'll put my number in the chat at any time. You all can give me a WhatsApp message and I'll help you all out, right? And science is a very easy one to get an A, right? So in vain, don't leave out science. Tip to get a good mark in MCQ, this is how. Now you saw that question where we calculated the velocity. Don't waste time on that question. Okay, leave that question and go to the others. Then you saw in some questions how just if I know C statement is wrong, I'm cutting all the answers that have a C. So therefore, I have to only think of one or two answers, which is the correct one. Other two will, however, get wrong because C is wrong. Something like that. So you have to be very, I mean, your MCQ, your paper 2, it will assess how brainy you are. But when you consider your MCQ paper, it will assess how tricky you are. Right? Maybe you don't know 100% of theory. Maybe you know only 85% of theory. But still you can get 40 out of 40 for the MCQ. If you are very, you know, you should be like a fox. Should be very, I mean, there's a different style to do an MCQ, right? So my phone number is there. You all can always, you know, contact through WhatsApp. And have I answered all of the questions? Can you teach electricity of both grade 10 and 11 when you're free? Yes, I can. You all are there in that group, right? So in that group, if you all can put what are the topics that you all need me to cover, maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I can, you know, schedule a date for you all and help you all out, right? Okay, any other questions you all have? If you all have any questions regarding today's MCQ or any question, you all can, you know, put a message to me. And yeah, so whenever I get the time, I can answer. You can't send messages in the group, no? Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So if you all need any topics, you all put a message to me. My phone number is there in the chat. You all put a message to me, then, you know, I can talk with the Majlis people and arrange some more sessions for you all, right? I'll be more than happy to help you all. Any other questions before we wind up? Was everything clear? Did you all understand the two papers? I mainly wanted to focus on MCQ because MCQ will give you a full broad idea. That is the reason I chose the MCQs, right? We can't actually create a group since this is through Majlis, we can't create a group. But yeah, you can DM the Majlis number. The Majlis number is there, right, in your WhatsApp group. So, I mean, without DMing the topics to me, please DM the topics to the Majlis number. So then they will help you all out, right? Okay. Okay, then if there's no other questions, we'll end. So, okay, then good night.
So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you.